Right, game design it is then. This is something I haven't done for a long time, but I've really enjoyed it in the past. And to cut a long story short, the passive income experiment from a previous video generated enough money over the last 4 months to spend a couple of nights away in Cardiff. So my son and I went and had a look around the city, and we stumbled on this place, the Arcade Vaults, which was just this little cafe hidden away, but as you walk past it had walls and walls of old consoles. So we went in, and for a small fee, I think it was about £6, you can actually play and hang out in this cafe and play all the machines that they have on 3 levels. Really cool. Anyway, sort of kept in touch with them, and as a result learnt about a game jam they were doing. A game jam is a competition over a set amount of time where they give you a task and you have to design a game in that time limit. And I went along to the launch, the reveal, and the task is to build a simulated version of an arcade redemption game. So a redemption game is one of those machines that you see at the seaside amusements that dispense tickets, you know, the little tokens that you can collect hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things, and then you can exchange it for a bit of plastic tat at the end. So there's more rules surrounding the competition, but that's basically it. So I thought, let's go for it. So my son and I have been coming up with a good idea for the game jam. So if I just show you the game jam webpage here, it's working with Sega Amusements, which is really cool. And there's a lot of prizes up for grabs, as well as a lot of rules. But the way this jam has been laid out, it's really interesting to see the level of detail that's gone into the rules, and it's something I really like. Lots of really interesting prizes up for grabs, but if we look at their itch page where you have to sign up and register to enter, the last day is today, I can see there's 14 people there. Only 14 teams have entered, so I think we're in with a chance, because I think some people might suffer a bit from burnout. Some people might overcomplicate things, so I'm anticipating a few dropping out there. So I think we're in with a good chance. Anyway, the idea that we've got, the idea that my son and I have, is based upon some similar concepts where you see in old-fashioned Victorian penny arcades. So things where you flick a ball bearing round and whatever. And we've come up with it. We came up with this version where it's got wheels, and you have to roll a ball bearing round the wheels and snake your way up to the top to get to the jackpot. Let me explain. So this is our sort of working concept. So the ball will come down to a gate where you time the release. Okay, one rule of this game jam: it has to be skill based. It can't be luck based. Okay, so the gates release and the ball shoots into the first wheel. You have to time it right to avoid the red, basically. If you land on the red, your ball gets eaten up and you have to pay for another credit. And you're basically trying to release the balls in such a way as to snake your way up. Okay, let's see if this version 1 still works. Okay, let's give it a go. So, ball bearing. Okay, and if you go for it. Successfully navigates the first wheel, goes on to the second. You get the idea. Now we have this concept working, and it was just a case of polishing things a little bit better, polishing it up, and we've got a nice bubblegum feel to it. Funnily enough, that's what we based our title on, bubblegum or gumball, so we call it Sticky Gumballs. Was thinking about something explosive, so you have to guide this bomb up to be defused, because you could have all sorts of punny titles like blown up or blowing up, things like that. But we're going with Sticky Gumball because that's kind of cute. And we can snake your way up. Can you see the red and white sections? All the way up to the jackpot. Now the jackpot is interesting. Okay, the jackpot, don't forget, it has to be skill based. the jackpot can only be achieved around 10% of the time, which is a challenge. So what I'm proposing is we monitor how many times that jackpot has been achieved. If it's over 10% of the overall attempts people have made, then we start maybe altering the proportions of the red and white on the wheels, maybe even speeding the wheels up a bit, just to make it more difficult to bring that percentage down. Should it fall below 10%, then we start to ease up a bit, make those wheels a little bit easier to navigate. But anyway, this is version 2, Sticky Gumball. Let's give it another go. Okay, so now instead of ball bearings, it's gobstoppers or gumballs. Okay, and we are going to go with... No, see, I'm in the red now, and as a result, my gumball gets eaten. And now we have a working concept, okay? We have just under 4 weeks left. So we get something working, and then we can start playing around with the settings and recording the stats, which is another requirement of the jam. We have to build a back end to monitor things like average play time, where do people drop out the game the most, and things like that. Version 3, bit of a late night last night. Yeah, I seem to work better at night than during the day on these things. And last night I put in a few hours, and as a result we have, let me start this from scratch. It's a bit chaotic, isn't it? Okay, so let's load it again. Right, so we have Sticky Gumball. Sticky Gumball, and I was working on some of the graphics here, and as you can see there's a few splats and whatever. Okay, looks really cool. Gets very distracting for as the splats sort of increase. The idea is we're grabbing people's attention as they walk past in the seaside arcade place. Okay, so when we start a game, it all sort of focuses in on the main game area, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's try version 3. Let's see how well we do. So, zooming in, the music started. Yes, we're in the white for this one, so it's looking good. White again, which is brilliant. Let's keep going. Just, yes, and no, we're in the red for that one, so our gumball gets eaten. So close, and 4 tickets get dispensed. Okay, so now it all starts to repeat itself. It's going back to the standby screen, trying to grab people's attention. They put the money in. It all focuses down on the main area of play, and we are good to go. Again, I've played this so many times. I did debate putting the music on because I've heard it so many times. It's absolutely driving me nuts. But there you go. And that is where Sticky Gumball is. Sticky Gumball, the latest game to come to your seaside amusements. So, as I said, the next step, let us just refresh that to stop the music. The next step is to work on the back end. So we're going to get some statistics being recorded. Number of plays, average play time, where people drop out, how many times the jackpot is achieved. And once we know that, then we can start playing around with the wheels to maintain that 10% jackpot achievement rate. Really fun competition. And yeah, I just had to go all out on it to start, like with most projects of mine. Have to go all out at the very start because I know time is just going to run out later on. So make as much progress as possible, and hopefully over the next few weeks I'm able to polish it more and hand it out for testing. But yeah, Sticky Gumball. See you later.